It's Week 10 of the NFL, and our focus is on Amari Cooper. He went well over 100 yards a week ago and found his way to the end zone. It's the Browns and the Ravens coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. Today we hit double digits, Week 10, and we've got a good one in store. The shadows starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Cleveland offense ready to go to work behind the three-time Pro Bowler Deshaun Watson. In his second season now as a Brown, number 7 overall.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well. Won the ball game, bottom line. May not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Oh, able to avoid him. And boy, showing how tough he can be to bring down, just fighting his way forward to pick up 7 yards. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. On the counter, Hunt. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Here's a toss right side for Hunt. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. 3rd and 15 coming up after that loss of 2. Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. 3rd and long, it's Watson. They'll go screen here to Hunt. There's the stiff arm. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down. It's a gain of 9, but it's also going to mean a punt here on their opening drive. On 4th down, Corey Bojorquez gets set to punt for Cleveland. On the return, Devin Duvernay.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. The Ravens offense set to go to work, and it's Lamar Jackson now in his 6th NFL campaign who will lead the way.
All the talk of Jackson leaving the Ravens this offseason was just that. Talk, as the two sides hammered out a deal that made him the highest paid player in the NFL. And why would they want to separate? When he has the ball in his hands, great things typically happen.
Myles Garrett showing that athleticism as he gets in to make the play.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Throwing is Jackson. His throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Mark Andrews, there. But now it's 3rd down.
Charles, we see some of the injuries that have popped up for this franchise, and obviously hoping to get these guys back on the field in a hurry.
Brandon, I'm going to go ahead and age myself, but I'm going to ask you, when you were in high school and there were injuries, did you hear next man up from your coaches?
Well, you hear it every week now in the NFL, that's for sure.
You know, back when I played with dinosaurs roam the earth, you didn't hear next man up. You heard, oh, no, we've got to put in Davis.
So still a scoreless game in the first, but they're going to go for this thing on their own side of the field on 4th down. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And it's knocked away and incomplete. A surprise. Go for it predictably, at least somewhat predictably. It doesn't pay off. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. They'll run again with Hunt. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Ravens.
This defense, Charles, very opportunistic here early. A second fumble recovery in this first quarter of play.
Yeah, you mentioned the right word, opportunistic and aggressive, because once they got the first fumble recovery, they were eager to get a second one, and sometimes they just come in bunches. On the flip side, they've got to figure out how to hold the ball because the play calls seem to be okay. They're just not executing.
He'll get 8 on the keeper there. It'll be second and a couple.
As for the Browns, they were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusion.
And now off to the races, down the right side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Ravens take the turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown.
Well, we've certainly seen this before, CD. No one can quite electrify a crowd like Lamar Jackson, and really don't know what else to say other than that was special right there.
I think you pretty much said it all, but I go back to what you said about electrifying a crowd. He's also electrifying us, and we're calling the game. This guy is simply sensational.
Tucker with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
The Browns set and ready to go on offense.
And Charles, if this ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November, but they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
Now that's how you start to get back in the good graces of your head coach. Remember, he fumbled on the last possession. How about the faith they showed him, giving him the ball again, and he repaid him, picking up a first down.
And space tough to come by there as they'll get maybe a yard to the 37. You look at this Baltimore defense.
They were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the Q.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Roquan Smith.
And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10.
And they'll begin by running the option.
Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, his 2nd TD of the game and 16th on the season.
And the Ravens are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So the lanes continue to be there for Lamar Jackson to run that football. That his second touchdown run of the game.
You know what I would like? I'd like for us to be able to go into a defense's room after playing Lamar Jackson and watch the tape and see how much of a lane was really there and how much he created just through his talents. In any event, Lamar Jackson finds the end zone, doesn't he?
He always seems to, but that's a good point. We sometimes put blame on the defense. Maybe we just need to praise Lamar Jackson a little bit more.
The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far.